tatrātha suhṛd-vinaṣṭiṁ vanaṁ yathā veṇuja-vahni-saṁśrayam saṁspardhayā dagdham athānuśocan sarasvatīṁ pratyag iyāya tūṣṇīm. At the place of pilgrimage at Prabhāsa, it came to his knowledge that all relatives had died due to violent passion, just as an entire forest burns due to the fire produced by the friction of the bamboos. After this, he proceeded west, where the river Sarasvatī flows. First thing we see that the spiritual world, there are unlimited living entities. Can we count them? More than the material world, people are in the spiritual world. Just like in a jail, number of people is always less compared to people in the city. And in the material world, in the newspaper, you can see every day, there are millions of fights. Every house there is a fight, every street there is a fight, every country there is a fight, sure, worldwide. Even in colleges, students fight. Everywhere we see fight. Hostels also there is fight. Even though in the spiritual world there are unlimited living entities, there is not a single fight. Never a fight. You're seeing the difference? Number of people in the jail is always much less compared to people in the city. Right? So similarly, the number of living entities in the spiritual world is much more than all the material world together. And even in one small city, Mangalore, every day you will see some fight happen, some murder happen, this happen, that happen. True? But in the spiritual world, not a single fight. Never happens. Why? Because there Krishna is center. Correct? Krishna is center. And Prabhupada gives an example, just like a violent passion. When personal agendas are there, fight happens. So this is very nice here. It says, entire forest. Violent passion of the conditioned soul, illusioned by the external energy. Strong desires for material enjoyment of the conditioned souls, and then the fight. That's the nature. So Vidura saw this, and that's how we deal with the world news. Fight. Every day fight happens, correct? We don't take any sides. We take sides when Krishna is involved. Otherwise, don't take sides. Prabhupada said, why do you say one set of rascal is better than another set of rascal? Then you become dvanda, involved in dandva. Dvanda moha, we should become out of that. If you become involved in the dvanda, then every day you want to know that party is defeated, that party is won, both are rascals. Why you want to waste your time? Suppose two gundas are fighting on the street. Why you take side? Both are idiots. True? Why you take side? Okay, one is a party of Vaishnavas or Krishna, then we are sometimes interested. Correct? So dvanda may be there in so many ways. Whenever the contamination of personal ambition is there, dvanda will occur. Prabhupada says, whenever Guru's disciples are there is dvanda, means somebody has got a personal ambition now. Agree? In the spiritual world, there is no personal ambition. Everybody is happy. Material world, personal ambition, therefore fight. My personal ambition clashes with your personal ambition. Correct? As for a service to Krishna, how can there be fight? Not possible. Fight only happens when there is a personal ambition. Okay. So this is Vidura saw, and he is very mature. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka. He is not disturbed by that. What the shloka said, you should not be disturbed by all this. See, it's not a small news, huh? Crores of people have died. This all happens due to friction of bamboos. Just like in a forest, bamboo fire is there. Are you disturbed? You know, it happens. Sometimes bamboo shake and fire happens. Correct? Nobody. So similarly in this world, people covered by rajoguna, tamoguna, strong illusory energy, they fight for no purpose. Just like, take an example. Sometimes you go to some area known to be bad area. Mangalore doesn't have, fortunately, such places, pockets, but most of the cities have some pockets of bad areas. Nobody goes there. Correct? And imagine, say, a slum or some area where people are criminals. And you go through that area and you see a lot of fight happening, shouting happening. Do you get involved? No. They do like this only. True? आपको डिस्टर्ब नहीं होता है. आप मालूम है लोग बेमतलब में लड़ता है इधर. So this is a very, very nice point that Vidura received the news. Vidura को क्या कहानी पता चला अभी कि लाखों करोड़ों लोग मर गए. कोई डिस्टर्ब नहीं. ठीक. This is very important. Very, very important. We should. What is the modern day news? All this tamasha only. We should be withdrawn, and we should do what Vidura is doing. What did Vidura was doing? Was it disturbed? क्या हुआ? इतना लोग मर गया? लड़ते हैं लोग. We need to have that maturity. We need to cultivate that maturity. लड़ते हैं. If you get involved in that dvanda, they cannot read Bhagavatam. उधर ही हुआ. उसको मार दिया. इतना पैसा चोरी किया. इतना पैसा चोरी किया. Because why we are interested? Because we also want money. We are also wanting money. So fortunate, huh? Heart of heart, we are thinking, so fortunate, huh? He made so much money. I also wanted. Therefore, we get very involved. We get attracted. We spend hours. But actually, the fact is, to some extent, we have to know things little. But our heart should not be sucked there. See, Vidura is traveling to the holy places. He is enjoying darshan of the Lord. Prabhupada is saying various things. Some people say there were no temples in Vedic time. Kya bakwas bol rahe ho? There are temples. Vidura is visiting 5,000 years temples. There's a nice temple abhi banayi. There are some people, I don't want to name them, there's some spiritual so-called organization, वो मंदिर नहीं जाते. ये मंदिर वेदों में नहीं थे, अभी लोगों ने बनाया. वेद में कहीं नहीं. ये पुराणों में ये सब बात हुई है. That is main thing is Vedas. Vedic times, temple थे. Vidura कहाँ गए? मंदिर तो गए थे. लिखा है ना? Linga means the forms of the Lord of worship. He went and visited them. So it's very important. There's a deity worship with a modern day concoction. They were not there in the Vedic time. This is so-called nonsense historians, they propagate this. But Bhagavatam says it's not true. And then Prabhupada says something even more interesting. He says that we don't have a history of the world more than 3,000 years old in the written books. Doesn't exist. Nobody knows what was happening. But Bhagavatam gives an account. And it tells how 5,000 years ago, whole world was ruled from India. And who was the last emperor? Yudhishthira Maharaj, the last emperor. You can say Parikshit Maharaj also is the last emperors of the whole world. One flag. One flag. Basically, one flag signifies there is total unity in the world. They were subordinate small kings, but there was one, just like one country. So one flag. There is total unity in purpose. The whole world is under one rule. Prabhupada says the training was so good. They were people fit to rule the world. Not today, if you try also artificially. The person really partial. You may be partial to Africans, you may be partial to Americans, correct? Racisms. Who would like to have a ruler like that? But they were so good rulers, they could rule the whole world. And whole world was happy under the rule of such great personality. The training was so good. There was once one lady asked, one female disciple, how could somebody rule the whole world? So Prabhupada said, you cannot do, that means others cannot do. The training was so good. They could do it. It's difficult to believe that somebody can be so qualified. Even now today, if somebody is extremely qualified, people will make him the ruler of the world. True? But there is nobody as qualified. He was natural. It's not by force. See, by force you cannot hold. It will revolt and it will break down. You cannot say Parikshit Maharaj because of power rule the world. No. They were people wanted to be under their rule. You got it? The artificially something is forced, they were revolutionarily thrown away. No. The whole world was voluntarily under their rule. True, when somebody said, and the objective was very clear, to establish dharma. To see the whole world follows the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, that's all. And somebody is not following, then only there is to be an attack. Why you are not following the principles given by the Lord? That's all. Dharma Yuddha. The Parikshit Maharaj, it is said, was ruling so nicely that when Kalipurusha asked for where the I can go, give me shelter. So Parikshit Maharaj says you can go where the 4 regulated principles are broken. And it could not find a place on earth. And that is a good ruler. Alright? Prithvi mein ek jagah nahi mila where there was intoxication, where there was gambling, where there was illicit sex, where there was meat. When whole earth there was not a place. That's a good, competent ruler. Okay? So this is another important point. So anyway, the most important point here is Vidura doing journey. Prabhupada says totally free from, he was not even recognized. He allowed his hairs to grow, totally oblivious to the social thing. He is focusing on spiritual life. This is very important. The principle is important. Now we cannot do like that. We grow hairs like this, we walk. No. That we are not discussing. But what we are, neither Prabhupada recommended, but what we need to do is that we have to be, when we practice Krishna consciousness, we have to be little disregarding what society says. If you want certificate from so-called third-rate society, they will not allow you to practice Krishna consciousness. So we have to become little oblivious. That is the reason we are staying in temple actually. The very reason Prabhupada that ISKCON is that we can peacefully sit and practice. Outside you sit down and you are reading Bhagavatam. Is it possible? In the college, you say, I will read. You may have taste, you read. The whole class will laugh at him. Say, Pagal ho gaya kya? Is the sadhu? They'll just make fun. They'll not be able to appreciate, what are you reading? Correct? Do you really find it taste? You cannot. If you are very conscious of what society thinks about you, you cannot be serious in spiritual life. They will not allow you. Therefore, that example was there. Don't give your heart to the society. We have to live in the society. Don't give your heart. What do you say? Practically, we cannot open our. We should be very careful. We open our heart and discuss Krishna consciousness among devotees, and we should act very normal in front of karmis. Very normal. Correct? Not that we cannot go to college. We are going to college. All are karmis. There is what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, asasanga tyaga. 2 kind of people you should not have said. Asasanga. What are asat? Strisangi eka. Krishna bhaktara. Strisangi means a person is keen for opposite sex, and Krishna Bhakta, who is an atheist, 100% people are these 2 categories only. Either they are dreaming, desiring opposite sex, boy or a girl, or they are non-devotee. They don't believe. I don't believe in God. If you talk to anybody. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said asasanga tyaga. Then how do we live? Asasanga is in the heart, externally, but we should be careful. Be careful in the sense that if we are not doing sadhana, then slowly we fall down. See, when asasanga comes down means, how do we know we have fallen down? Aisa nahi jab ine gire mein fallen down. Fallen down means, as far as I can understand, the material world starts looking very attractive. And we start developing respect. He's a very nice person. That means fall down. Correct? A person may be lacking these 2 things, and still you are appreciating him. He's not a devotee of Krishna. Somebody, Prabhupada asked, he used to meet anybody. He said, are you Krishna conscious? No. Prabhupada said, you are a rascal. That's all. Totally, immediately. He got the acharya, he can speak on the face. Prabhupada says, the old people can get away by saying anything. He says, small children and old people can say anything and get away. Some scientists came, big scientists meet Prabhupada. So Prabhupada asked him, are you Krishna conscious? No. Prabhupada said, you are a rascal. And Prabhupada convinced him he was a rascal. And so then he went away. Devotees were completely shocked. So, and he still appreciated Prabhupada. Huh? There was in Vrindavan, and there was one big person came, very famous scholar came, Indian, and visited Prabhupada in Vrindavan. And Prabhupada was very gentle man to him. Okay, how is very nice. From where do you come? Where do you stay? Like that. Then slowly Prabhupada used to pleasantries over. Prabhupada came to Krishna consciousness. We sometimes only on pleasantries, we don't preach. But Prabhupada was preacher. So as he preached, started freeing, that person expressed Mayavada ideas, So Prabhupada said, you're a rascal, number 1. What do you think, you're God or what? Started banging him. And that man could not take, somebody respected can't take. He just bowed his head down, down, down. He said he was on the floor only. And then Prabhupada finished his banging and walked away. And then devotees were just sitting, looking at him. He picked his head up, smiling. I am a rascal. I am an idiot. So he could do that. Prabhupada said, you don't imitate, but at the same time, we sometimes do only pleasantry. Oh, you're very nice. We don't talk at all. Yeah. But Prabhupada was different. He was preacher. He was preaching Krishna consciousness. And then, so Prabhupada could take the liberty to tell people, so we cannot tell, but we should be careful that we don't get influenced. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam taya aparhita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. Bhoga and Aishwarya should not enchant our heart, which is enchanting the heart of public. See, everybody is moving because of some enchantment. And society is moving because of enchantment to sense gratification. Correct? What are the two enchantments of youngsters? One big car, a big bike in their hostel room, and some beautiful actress. Bhoga and Aishwarya. The two things they are dreaming. Bhoga they can think of as a bike and car only now, or some big house. Aishwarya, some beautiful woman. Correct? Bhoga Aishwarya prasaktanam. Not only their association is dangerous, taya aphrita chetasam. Even if we see them enjoying, we get disturbed. We see a boy, a classmate talking to a beautiful girl, we become very disturbed. Why he's enjoying like this and I'm sitting here? Bhoga, Aishwarya, and that's what they talk about, and they think that is security. Yedhana yavana putra parijana ite ke ache paratitire. Acharyas want this is not a security. This is not satisfaction. But we get bewildered in that association. Therefore, our sadhana should be very good. We should practice very good sadhana. Then only I was requesting the devotees also. We are protected in one sense that we are not among the society, but we have one demon, this mobile. From this we can do asasanga. Correct? Prabhupada says actually we should avoid hearing the sinful vibration from sinful people. Even what they speak, the vibration is sinful. Don't hear it. Just like a devotee speaking. Whatever he's speaking is pleasing to him because the devotee, overall background is a devotee. Correct? But whenever sinful man is speaking, we don't want to hear anything he's speaking. Even he will speak about good thing, we don't want to hear. He speaks about Krishna also, we are not interested to hear. Shravadam naiva kartavyam sarpochishta payorataha. Because his life, we see is 24 hours, not the 10 minutes he is talking to you. What is he doing? He is doing only sense gratification. Not interested. I'm not interested to hear. Correct? At the heart. Externally we have to. We don't reveal our heart. Oh, very nice. Oh, you ate idli today in the morning. Oh, very good. Oh. Don't reveal. He doesn't come to know. But see, giving our heart to somebody is a very voluntary feature. It cannot be forced. Can it be forced? It cannot be very forced. So nobody can take our heart. That we give with very developed faith, because I want to develop in Krishna consciousness. So where I feel inspiration, I give my heart. Correct? Other places I don't give heart. I am externally, it's fine. True? Therefore we have to be careful in the society when we are living. We have to be very careful. We don't get enchanted or degraded by bad association. It's very, very, very important. So they say Saint Vidura is walking through the holy places, oblivious of what the society. He was must be very handsome personality, correct? A very famous personality. There was one emperor at that time. Dhritarashtra was well known. Whole world was looking at this Kurukshetra. At the Hastinapur was the world throne. And he is known. He is in power, number 2, number 3 man. People are really talking about him. But he grew his hair so people can't recognize him. Completely oblivious to society and what society thinks about it. Is seriously trying to advance in Krishna consciousness. This is a very important principle. We become very serious. Just like we don't have to become like Jadabharata. Jadabharata became another extreme. The puri dunya se he became totally withdrawn and he is in practicing, relishing Krishna consciousness. But to some extent we need to, from the society, withdraw ourselves to seriously practice Krishna consciousness. Correct? Isn't that needed? It's very much needed. Prabhupada says the first qualification to enter the spiritual world is our eagerness to hear about the Lord. If that is there, then rest are in order. Correct? That's a very, very important element. Person is spiritually healthy. If suppose somebody has a taste and he reads for 1 hour a day, attentively finishes his rounds, is spiritually healthy. There are rest of details. We are not much worried. Correct? What do you say? Prabhupada used to count. He used to say a temple is healthy when there is a good book distribution going on. The rest of the things will be in order automatically. Because then that means there is enthusiasm to preach. but there is no enthusiasm to preach, means something is wrong, correct? People, enthusiasm should be there to preach somehow. And preaching always should conclude by giving proper books. If your preaching is convincing, then person should, I would like to read now Bhagavatam. That means your preaching is convincing, correct? If your preaching cannot convince a person to read Bhagavatam, what are you doing? Moral values or what? Oh, very nice, be good. But if you're really able to convince somebody, you should say, yes, I want to read Bhagavad Gita, correct? How much you can teach? What you're telling is a gist, some essence. Then person should develop taste. I want to read Bhagavatam now. Then he should read. And then he will get taste. Why these books are important? Because that's the beat, the heart of Prabhupada. His heart is beating for Krishna. He can feel that heart, correct? And then he develops huge advancement in Krishna consciousness. And you brought him to the shelter of Prabhupada. You see, you have no power to take somebody to Krishna. You should be aware of that. Even you preach to somebody, you should be very much aware of your limitation. You should be very much aware of your limitation, how much you can take him. So always your preaching should conclude by bringing somebody to the founder of this movement. Then your preaching is effective. Prabhupada therefore says, what your 3-minute preaching will do. If he reads one page of this book, his life will change. Reading textbook is very important. Okay? Even if you want to write textbook, you will not be write one page. Can you write authoritatively one page per part? You're not able to write. We have many times we thought about we'll have magazine. People can't write. It is not easy to write. One page on a topic. Writing means, people will be reading that. You'll write, cut, then you'll cut the whole thing and throw in a dustbin. That's what you'll do. And Prabhupada, yesterday we were discussing Bhagavatam. Yesterday we started. 1962. Prabhupada is sitting in Vrindavan. In Delhi. He's in Delhi. Most probably in the Chippiwada temple. Very well. He's sitting alone. He's writing preface of his Bhagavatam. Movement has not started. He got order from his Guru 1936. This is 26 years are over. It's a huge time. The letter is with him and he had great respect for his Guru. Correct? Not like us, We have no order of his Acharya. We are not carrying in our heart. He's just like Prabhupada. If you want, enough orders of Prabhupada are unfulfilled even now. You can take up anything and keep working. Correct? Enough orders are there. And a whole power really there behind you if you want to fulfill those orders there. And his heart is carrying the order of his Guru. Our heart is carrying only sense gratification. It's carrying his pure heart is order of his Guru. And Prabhupada is thinking what to do. He's getting dreams. His Guru is saying, take sannyas. He has come to Vrindavan. Correct? He did everything possible. Whatever money he had, even as Grahastha, he printed back to God his magazine, distributed them. So many years. Even when the war was there, imagine the urgency, he wrote to the British. Imagine they must be really thinking, what is this man? War is going on, Prabhupada writing. Please give me paper for printing. Just imagine. It's an emergency. War is happening. World war, not small, world war. And Prabhupada writing British government. Urgently, I need some paper. It's a very important work. Okay, they release paper and Prabhupada writes, thanks to the government to release me paper. And he's publishing his Back to God magazine. Totally oblivious to the world is thinking. Imagine in the world war, it's a crisis, an emergency. What will they every day see? Are kitna idhar mara? Are kitna udhar mara? We will be absorbed in that or not? Tell me honestly. Suppose World War III starts and God forbid. And countries are throwing nuclear bombs over here. People are dying. Hiroshima bombing is going on. People are dying. Prabhupada is oblivious to the whole thing. I want paper. I want to publish Krishna consciousness. And uninterested, is totally focused on therefore you can be focused. Prabhupada says, how do we focus? Focus on the order of the Guru. Otherwise you'll be distracted. Just focus on the order. What is the order of the Prabhupada? Chant Hare Krishna. Focus, I have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. That only can save you.